Super Store Preliminary in White Plains, where I made top 8 with a 3-1 record, coming in 5th place due to bad tiebreakers with Janemba. A little bit of an updated build, so I wanted to give you a new look at like the current version of Janemba that I'm playing. Of course, you remember Fat Boy on the leader side. He attacks, draw a card, and mill 2 cards from your opponent's deck. And then he has the same on the Reagan side with that nice little bonus of an auto negate to save you in those high pressure situations. Coming off with the 1 drops, 2 Borgos, 1 group leader Pilaf, 2 Kami for all those swarm decks, and 4 copies of Psycha Demon rocking out. Kami's came up pretty clutch today. My round 1 was against that new Zamasu that makes all those blocker tokens, and Kami saved my life plenty of times. Pilaf is there mostly for the Shenron Gogeta matchups or any other type of card that I don't like if they have a particular effect. All in all, 1 drops were pretty good. Moving on over to some of the little middle guys. 2 Yajirobe, just because I wanted a little bit of an answer to, powerful cards that I may not otherwise be able to take care of. I went with the Great Saiyaman Town Hero. Oh, my AC just turned on. It's hot out here. Great Saiyaman Town Hero. I went with this super combo just because I wanted to play much more of a longer game, and I generally kept my life up pretty high. So the other super combo, the North Kai, didn't really come up as often. Worked out pretty well. There were some times where I had to charge it, which might have been a little negative, but overall, throughout the performance of the tournament, didn't really come up as much. Of course, the one of Unyielding Spirit Trunks, because we like restanding our energy and doing some cool tricks with the deck. 4 Fat Boy, because we like getting into our Janembas. 2 At All Costs Vegeta. This was just in case I needed a way to close out. Maybe there's a game that my opponent was low in life because they played a self-awakened leader. I played this guy just in case I could win off of an aggressive attack. Didn't come up at all today, so I'm not too sure if I'm going to cut him. But for the most part, this is just a nice little answer to get a big swing in and potentially game your opponent through damage instead of the mill. Awe-inspiring Intimidator Vegeta, SSB Vegeta, so Super Saiyan Blue. This card single-handedly won me so many games because I would put him when my opponent would try to throw some pressure situations, and then he's there looking at the battle card saying, come at me, bro. And then, you just defend, and protect your leader life. 3 Demon Sword, 4 pseudo combo, 3 regular Agent of Destruction, 2 Reality Bender, and 3 copies of Unbreakable. I didn't play 4 of this because I didn't want to have 1, I didn't have space, and 2, I was a little concerned about running into the yellow Dende, because for the most part these guys don't stay in your hand, they stay in your deck. This is mostly in your hand, so if they had to choose a card, they had to choose him, and you get the effect to draw when he comes into play regardless. So I didn't want them to hit this one too much, basically. Didn't really come up, but it was more so of a space concern. These are my extra cards. Dimension Magic negates, Mafuba negates, Senzu Bean protect my guy, and the one of little Zeno button, which came in clutch, especially when they try to run into Vegeta and you're tapped out. You Zeno button, and now they're like, oh crap, you use your pseudo combos to protect your Vegeta and buy yourself some turns. I did have a side deck, even though it was best of 1 today, just to give you an idea of what I was going for with the side deck. 2 copies of Dende for those Shenron Gogeta decks, since they like to play Objection. A 2nd Group Leader Pilaf for those nasty effects. No Escape Son Goku for swap shenanigans, and that red Gogeta Toki, which basically acted as extra copies of No Escape Son Goku or the Dende, or even Kami up there. She's basically a way to fetch them out, draw a card, and get their effects in. Janemba, of course, always has a bad matchup against hand control, So Ruthless Trainer is one of those answers to things like Lord Slug, maybe even Towa, if you put it in there. Two copies of Son Goku. This guy, stops the little aggro decks. Wasn't too sure if Kid Ku would still be like relevant or whatnot, but this is just kind of a way to slow down any type of mini rush deck. Of course, you can't go wrong with two copies of Crisis Crusher. He just helps out so clutch in those matchups. This is just sort of a personal tech, Father Son Galagun. It's Vegeta and his son Trunks. Vegeta is one of my favorite characters. He is the toughest dad, so I empathize with that as a fellow dad in real life. So this is kind of like a way where like I try to remind myself that my son's with me at all times. It's a little cheesy, but it's it actually comes up sometimes against a lot of other cards. But I mostly play it as sort of a little homage to my son. And then two copies of Ejection just to kind of like stay up there against the Shenron Gogeta decks. I've played 2 out of 3s against the deck in testing, and this has rarely come up, so I might like switch it out. For the most part, that matchup is just 50-50. If they got it, they got it. If they don't, they don't. So I might like change this out maybe for like 2 copies of Whis Coercion or something, or maybe some other type of negate. I'm not too sure yet. I got to see how the format continues to develop. But that's pretty much the deck. Janemba, 3-1. My matchups, in terms of matchups, my first round was against the new Zamasu. And I kind of just like, I had tested against it, so I outplayed it pretty much well. I stopped charging at 3 energy, so I let them charge for me. I commied like his big board, and then I sat on a Vegito for like a few turns as I dwindled his deck down. Round 2, I played against a blue Dende, Majin Buu, the Arcane Absorption Buu. I wound up winning that matchup, but my boy was playing the deck, and he needed his invite, so I said, "Hey man, you could take the win. Just try to win out, get that invite." He did finish in the top 8, so it was worth it. Maybe I probably could have stayed with the win just to get better pricing and whatnot, but I wanted to make sure he at least got his invite, which he did. So I'm kind of happy about that. Round 3. I played against a... What did I play against round 3? I think round 3 was a baby Vegeta. Won that. He kind of tilted himself a bit. There was I think it was like turn 3. He forgot to charge or energy. He drew his card, tapped one, put down the Planet M2 that went to swing with leader, and then realized his mistake. And I was just like, yeah, but you kind of, you went on. There's not really anything we could do to go back. And that kind of like threw him off tilt over there, and he just like kept making so many play errors because he was really upset. It sucks. I think the match could have gone like a little differently. I'm pretty sure I probably could have still have won, because after his chain Zeno against my very large hand, I still drew kind of broken. Like I drew into a Senzu Bean, a pseudo combo, and like a Psychic Demon and the Fat Boy. So like I was like, okay, I still have a pretty good hand. I can still win this out. And then last round was against another Vegeta baby, which happened to be my teammate, and he was X2. I got the pair down, so he said, just take the win, bro. So you can at least try to get like maybe 3rd, 4th. Wound up getting 5th, which sucks because, I guess just bad tiebreakers. But that's the deck. Kind of like an updated list at the older Janemba deck that I ran in the last set of preliminaries. I just really love the deck. It's fun. You're more than welcome to try it out. Hopefully it gets you some good wins. It's really solid. I like it, And that's it. All right, till next time, guys.